Well, happy Thursday to everyone here, my internet friends. I know it's 6 p.m., so it's a little bit later than normal, but I'm in the office because it's a big game night tonight. So, here in Provo, Utah, it is the start of the Brigham Young University football season against what they refer to as the hated Utes, which hate is such a strong word. It's sad, really. Anyway, so that's why we're still here. They use our parking lot to park. We're somewhat near the stadium, and so we're still here hanging out. The game doesn't start till 8:15, and the parking lot's already basically full. But at $10 a car, not bad. Not bad for the business park. So anyway, let's get started. Got something cool to discuss that I didn't get to yesterday because yesterday I was not doing well. It was a little sad day, right? So, not today. Here we go. Well, thanks for joining me. I'm just checking to see if we're online and good. It says live. I don't know. Oh, that's good. A little lagging. So, oh dear. Okay, so it's got. Oh dear. Thanks for joining me. I'm just checking to. I am sorry about this, folks. There we go. Stop. We have to do that lag for my cursing problem. I don't have a cursing problem. My children will say I probably did when they were younger, but I don't now. So anyway, it's been a good 2 years. I stopped cursing about 2 years ago when my son left on his church mission. I decided that was one thing that I wanted to do while he was gone, was clean up my language. Not that it was ever really bad, but I got rid of I got rid of any of it. So mission accomplished. So you saw in the title of the show that we're talking about the 5 Ps, and I know that for any of you that attended college and took a marketing class probably have heard of the 4 Ps, which then became the 5 Ps, and when everybody thought they were being super smart. And now we've got an industry where we've moved more from traditional business to more online businesses, and so we have to adjust. They've decided, whoever they are, the powers that be in online marketing, or at least those that continue to talk and put stuff out, are talking how we need to adjust the 5 Ps to bring it into the modern era, which is fine. So we're going to do that today. So if you'll remember, the old 5 Ps are product, price, place, promotion, and then we threw in people at the end of it, just to make it warm and fuzzy. It used to just be product, price, place, promotion forever. They tossed in people there recently, so we started to personalize it a little bit more, not much more. And now we've got the online side of marketing and business saying that we need to change that to the 5 new Ps. And actually, you've got some groups that are talking about 6 Ps, but the 5 new Ps are personalized or personalization, pervasive, present, proprietary, and predictive. Okay, so today, I don't want to go through all of those, but we're going to talk a little bit about this idea of personalization in your business and how it can help you sell more. And we here at the Little Black Couch are about helping entrepreneurs live their dreams, start the business of their dreams, and avoid some of the nightmares. And I think this is right along with our theme. So we're going to dive right in and do that. But before we do so, let's bring in the star of the show and Buddy, our good friend, the couch. We can see there that we have chosen this Oh, my backpack's there. Oh, I got a free t-shirt too. Free t-shirt came in the mail, but I don't wear free t-shirts, so I will not be wearing this t-shirt. That is one of my things. I don't wear swag that's sent to me for free. Don't do it. I don't know, just a personal problem. Anyway, so what I've tried, I've come up with an emoji, I mean Buddy has, right? Of personalization. You like that? A little nail polish? You got to get sometimes creative with these emojis, but thank you, Buddy, for holding on to that. Thanks for holding my backpack too, Bud. I appreciate that. Well, it looks like there's something in the middle there, but no, just a wrinkle. So there's Buddy. Thanks, Buddy. Thanks for being here today. Again, for those who don't know, Buddy the Couch is what the show is named after, and why it's named after a couch is because about 20, somewhere in there, over 20 years ago, I was in one of those little office spaces where all these entrepreneurs were together, and it was sort of a, not quite an incubator kind of a situation. We all rented our own office space, but it was one where we didn't need a whole lot, but we couldn't work at home either because our wives were killing us due to the mess. At least mine was. So it was good to find a new space. And so I did, and it was really reasonable. There was just like one bathroom and like 12 offices, and we just kind of hung out there and were entrepreneurial and talking and trying to get a lot of things done. And so it was good. It was good. But anyway, one of the guys at the end of the hall who was, I wonder how old he is now. He's got to be in his 70s, but he was later on in life and sort of retiring and going, I can't remember what he's doing, but he was closing up his office. He had Buddy, the little black couch, sitting there. So I don't know how old Buddy is. I didn't buy him new. But I've had him for the last 20 plus years, and he's been a super support. So I have named, a show after him, and he's tickled. He's quite tickled, honestly. So that is Buddy, and we have another logo of him there. See that? Welcome. Okay. So anyway, so I wanted to jump in and talk then about this personalization today and how we can use personalization in our own business to increase sales. Now, personalization, it can fit into the old product, price, place, promotion discussion, but if we're going to say these are the new 5 Ps, then let's just embrace it and we'll go forward with that. And so personalization is becoming important because you're seeing a lot of the big firms in the industry really dominate markets that have been more traditionally local based, and they're doing this by personalization. For example, you've got a company like Amazon, for example. Okay, Amazon they'll present you a bunch of different products. You'll search for products, and then you'll purchase a product. And then what Amazon will do wisely, they will personalize that experience for you in a couple different ways. They'll look at stuff that you've bought in the past, and they'll see if there's stuff that maybe might be, like if it's a consumable, you might be running out of here pretty soon. And so they can suggest those purchases, but then they also have this area where they suggest others, others purchased with, and then some items that way too. And so what they've done is they've got these customer models, and they are able to analyze thousands and thousands of people, and when they buy one thing and they buy another, then they can kind of assume and associate those two products together, and then they can start offering those to those folks that are checking out. Now, if we look at this based on, again, a lot of you are using funnels now in your business. If we look at this in basis of, as far as a funnel goes, it's a very similar process. We're not offering a different product necessarily on the same page, but when we offer a solution, right? So when we offer a tripwire, or we offer something at the beginning of our funnel, we then go to the next page and we are basically offering them the next item that will solve the problem we just created with the solution we just gave them, right? So we keep them going this way and run them up the value ladder, or run them up through our offer based on what we know from experience that they're probably going to need next. Okay, and so that's what we try to do. So we in funnels, I think, more wisely than most folks online, have embraced this idea of personalization. We've done it a little differently because maybe we don't have as many customers to analyze, so we've tried to go out and do it a different way. Okay, some other things to think about when it comes to personalization. You've got like a company like Netflix. So Netflix is a very interesting group because they're always trying to to bring in different movies and try to make them so they're, appetizing and watched, right? They're paying for them anyway. They want to make sure that they're delivering content that we enjoy and that we consume, so we continue to pay them the monthly fee, right? So it's important for them to make sure that we're watching and enjoying. So what does Netflix do? As far as a personalization play, they literally will change the cover art for movies that we could possibly consume based on what our profiles are telling them and what other movies that we're looking at. So if there's a movie, if we've kind of showed them that we enjoy action movies or dramas or whatever, they will then change the cover art. They will discover cover art within the movie that more closely is related to what we have shown interest in the past, and they will then change the cover art of the movie to attract us to that movie, so we'll watch it. Right? So a drama that has an action scene, for somebody like me, I like action shows. They would take a drama show. My wife loves this, right? They take a drama show that she wants to see, then they put a little action cover art on there, and I'm thinking, hey, might be okay, and we start to watch it, and my wife's happy and I fall asleep. But still, they got us consuming it and watching it from the get-go. So another cool way to personalize from Netflix, right? And I'm using big companies now, but this is kind of interesting how these companies are doing it, and we'll take this and apply this to how we can use it as entrepreneurs and small business owners. Another example in personalization is, well, like Spotify, like a music, even like Apple Music or whatever. When you start listening to music and certain types of music, then they will create these sort of suggested playlists and things of music that you may be interested in. Obviously, again, because we're paying on a monthly fee, it's to keep us engaged and keep us interested and keep us believing that what Spotify or Apple or anybody else is delivering is interesting, is personalized. Like, they know what I want, and they are working hard to make sure that I get it. So I'm always expanding what I'm listening to, and it's all based around stuff that I've already shown that I'm interested in, and then they make a lot more money. For example, they say that, and again, I don't know if Amazon's released this or not, but Amazon makes 35% of their money off just the stuff that they suggest, the upsell. Okay, the upsell, 35%. So this whole concept of using funnels to sell things online, and we used it in, if you remember on, late night TV and infomercials and all that, same sort of concept. We would get them interested with something cheap and easy, and then we would, show them something else that is personalized. If we know they're interested in this, then it would, probably be of interest to them to sell them stuff like this. We create problems and then we solve them some more and we sell them more stuff. 35% of Amazon revenue comes from those suggestions, the personalization side of it. Okay, that's a big deal. Now, how well is this being utilized in the industry nowadays? There was a 2017 or 2018 survey, I believe by, was it HubSpot? Darn it, I should have wrote it down. Somewhere out there, you can Google it and you can find it, but literally only 6% of online marketers feel like that they are doing enough in personalization to make any sort of a business, to make any change in their business, okay? And then in 2017, this one's definitely 2017, they said that they surveyed 83%, they surveyed a bunch of companies online, and those that exceeded their goal, their sales goal for the year, of those that succeeded, 83% used some form of personalization and upsells to generate more revenue. Okay? So only 6% of the folks are doing it. Based on it was a 2018 survey. Only 6% are really doing it very well. And yet 83% of the companies online that exceeded their sales goal were using some form of personalization. Okay, so it's a big deal. Okay, so what does personalization look like to a small business owner? There's a lot of different ways to do this. And we had a really good, on our little mastermind call today, we had a really cool presentation on Facebook groups. And it was awesome. I mean, it was really, really cool. It's the Identify Mastermind community. It's awesome. Cassie Brown puts it on with Tara, and they do. It's just awesome. It's a really good group. We get together every Thursday. We used to have a special guest, and Chantal was the guest today, and she is a Facebook group expert. And one of the cool things that she talked about is how she had grown her group. And she had done it by paying attention to very specific things about this group and niching down and making sure that her group only had these individuals. It was a very personalized group. And because it was so personalized, these folks felt like they had found home. And so her group grew super quickly. And it's a group for moms with special needs children. So she wasn't letting people in that had children or any, it was a very specific group. And so then they could all support one another. Well, then she had a very personalized group. And the thing that was so fascinating to me as I was considering this topic was that, excuse me, it's delightful. Excuse me, Pepsi Zero Sugar, not sponsoring the show, but really they should. Anyway, what was so cool about what she was talking about is she talked about how she decided, okay, I've got this really good group and it's a really engaged group. It was like over 80% engaged, monthly. I mean, these were an amazing group of folks in her Facebook group. She decided that she was going to create a course. And so she created a course, and she created this course based on what she thought this really specialized group would want, which makes total sense. Right? It's a very specific group. You think you know what your people want. I mean, and they love her for putting this group together, right? They chant her name. They miss her when she's gone. So she thinks she's got a tribe and she knows them. She loves them. They love her. She comes out with a course and the course goes nowhere. It falls flat. Why? Why? Because here's where I think most of us marketers make mistakes. She didn't get in and ask the group what they wanted, right? So how do we do that? Whether it's surveys, whether it's asking them for topics that they would like you to discuss upon. If there's a lot of different ways to interact with the group and ask questions, and then make sure that we create products that deal with very specific and personalized needs of our groups. So here, Chantal's got an amazing group that loves her, but nobody's buying. They love her and they love one another, but nobody's buying because it wasn't taking care of the personalized needs they had to a point where they're willing to buy, right? If they're going to buy this thing has to be so personalized and so exactly of what they need in their current situation, and somehow or another that got lost in translation in this group. So she continued on and talked about how she got in. Now she's known as a Facebook group like guru expert. She's brilliant. She's awesome. And it was such a great, I mean, honestly, if there's a way to get hold of that, Cassie, if you're watching this, I mean, that was amazing, right? So everybody needs to go join the Identify Mastermind group. It's just look for it on Facebook. It's really cool. Cassie always has amazing guests. And this one, I mean, this is how bad it is. I have a Facebook group, a little group that I set up like 10 months ago when I launched the podcast. And I put up questions and I did all the stuff that I was told to do. Well, it turns out 4 people have been waiting all this time for me to approve them. I've not done one thing for this group, and I still haven't. I'm terrible. So I need to get in and do a little bit better job, obviously. As do we all. Let's not be too hard on ourselves. But Chantal started talking about how she, learned so much through doing this Facebook group, right? And so then she started to go and hang out with some really smart people, and everybody started sharing. And then people who had questions about Facebook groups and the best way to set them up and best practices and all that, Chantal knew it all. And so she started sharing with them all that they needed to do. And then people started just approaching her out of the blue saying, hey, I'd love to buy your course on Facebook groups. And she's like, I don't have a course on Facebook groups. But she got so tired of people asking her questions, she built something out so when somebody asked, she could just say, look, here you go. I don't want to have to repeat myself for the umpteenth time, so here you go. Well, as soon as somebody offers to pay for it, she's like, aha, oh, people really want this specific thing. All right? It's a solution that's become it's a personalized solution for anybody who wants to build a Facebook page and do it, a Facebook group and do it the right way. They came to her looking for her expertise, and then started asking her questions. She answered all the questions, and all of a sudden then she knows what people want. Right? They are coming to her begging for her wisdom, for her experience on a particular topic that she just became expert at by going about creating this group that she loved. And so she's created a course, and now it's called the Culture Method. You might want to look that up, the Culture Method on how to build a really engaged, awesome Facebook group. Okay, and then she learned a lot of cool lessons in the midst of all that on how to make sure that you build a course that people actually want, that they're looking for. And that is by asking questions. So when we talk about personalization, one of the five new P's, we want to make sure that we are engaging with our potential, with our tribe. And before we create a product or offer anything for this tribe, we want to make sure that it's what they want. And we personalize the offer for what they want. Another really easy way to do this is split testing. And I know we've talked about it a little bit, but you can learn so much with people going through your sales process on what people want and what people don't. Any little thing that you can do like that, if you have a split test and it goes 60-40, that's a big deal. And then you go with this 60%, and I think people get a little freaked out because when you do a split test and it goes 60-40, and they go, oh, I guess I'll go with the 60, but I'm gonna lose the 40. No, you don't. You're not gonna lose the 40. These 40 you're gonna buy anyway. Okay, you've just picked up another bunch of folks that converted over here. This 40, if they don't have any other option, are probably still gonna buy over here, right? This one's just going to convert more often and more quickly. So then you go to the 60%, that then comes in, and now you've got more engaged buyers, and then you do the same thing. If there's two different offers that you can go with, you split test it again, and you could really hone in the marketing path for folks. And then you've got upsells and downsells that you can put in as well. Those can be split test. And you can create a really specialized solution for those that love you most. And I think that's the thing that's very interesting when we get online, is that we will sometimes work like crazy to launch something and get it up there and start paying for Facebook ads or start podcasting like crazy or doing whatever we do to get eyeballs on it. And then it doesn't work and we're like, dang it, shoot, I guess I was wrong. Well, maybe, or maybe you just didn't get it exactly right. If we did our work beforehand and we found out what the folks want, and then we just start tweaking our offer to figure out how to make it so it's personalized to them and addresses their objections. And that's really all. Overcoming objections is really about making sure that you personalize a solution to address those objections and get them to a point where they have no more objections and they buy your stuff. They buy your stuff. So personalization, honestly, you look at the big companies and a lot of them are doing it with AI and automated systems, and they can run all kinds of queries to figure out what their customers want. That's fine. But I don't necessarily think it may be quicker to come up with some trends, but I don't necessarily think it's more effective necessarily. Well, if you have tons of data, it may be just as effective. But asking your people, those that love you and that are your tribe, on how you can deliver more value for them and listen to them and come up with a solution that they're willing to pay for because it's personalized to what they've been asking for, that's another way to do it. And it will have the same effect. Okay, so that's the first P, right? You've got personalization, pervasive, present, proprietary, predictive, and some of them are trying to throw in permission-based, like you have to ask for permission. I don't know. That always seems interesting to me. Myron Golden has some things to say about asking for permission, right? If you're listening to me, you've already given me permission. So anyway, well, we'll talk about those. So tomorrow I'm going to jump into the P of being persuasive and how best to do that without being a total wank. And there are some techniques there. So anyway, that's it for me. From the Little Black Couch, Aaron Stewart saying thanks for joining me very much. Entrepreneurs are amazing. They are solving the world's problems and they're doing it in very unique ways. Don't stop. Don't stop. Folks need us. Folks need us to make sure that we are solving their problems and making their lives better. Nobody else is going to do it. Not as efficiently, as effectively, or economically as we can. It ain't going to be the big boys. It ain't going to be the Amazons, the Netflix, and the Spotifys that come up with stuff that's super, super cool, that changes the world and has wonderful impact for generations to come. That's our job. Till next time, Aaron Stewart saying be good and do well. Thanks.